Hello and welcome to Hoi4 101. My name is Superfreak and today I will take you through the most important combat stats for divisions. Each division in your army is based on a template that we can see in the Recruit and Deploy tab. Most nations start with a few different templates to work with, but most of them aren't any good and some can be pretty horrible, so I will go through what is important to know when designing your own templates. Here we have the division designer with your line and support battalions. Next to that, we have the spreadsheet that is the stats. Not all of these stats matter too much, so I will go through the essentials and show how to affect them. It's important to remember that every change you make to a division will cost you army XP, so it's best to start with a base that is the most similar to your end goal. First, we have the max speed. This decides what speed your troops will move at in the optimal situation. There are some buffs to increase this, but for the most part it's a fixed number for every battalion type. So infantry move at 4 kph, horse at 6.4, motorized at 12, mechanized from 8 to 14 depending on the model, and tanks move at whatever the speed of the tank template you are using. Note that the division will always move at the rate of the slowest battalion in the template, so combining a fast and a slow battalion will result in a slow division. This does not count for support apart from recon companies and flame tanks. Next up we have HP, which is a number showing how much damage your units can sustain. So a lower number means you will be taking more losses. It's always good to try to have as high a number as possible. This is achieved by adding some sort of infantry, whether that be leg, motorized or mechanized. Organization is the number of how long your unit can stay in a battle. Again, you want to have this number as high, but there are balancing acts as certain battalions like tanks don't give much organization, so putting tanks without support will result in a very low organization. The sweet spot tends to be above 30 for tanks and above 40 for infantry. Now we go over to combat stats. So we'll start by talking about 3 different stats at the same time: soft and hard attack, as well as hardness, which can be found over here. A division will have a certain hardness depending on what type of battalions there are. So tanks and mechanized tends to give hardness while infantry remove it. This decides how much percentage of soft attack and hard attack the division will take. So a full infantry division will take 100% soft attack and 0% hard attack, while tank divisions vary on the type of tank and how many there are. In single player, you want to maximize soft attack, while you can pretty comfortably forget about hard attack, as the AI use very few tanks and the only ones they use tend to have quite low hardness anyway, so soft attack will do the job just fine. Next, I will very briefly mention air attack, which is how much damage you do to close air support, as well as reducing the penalty from enemy air superiority. Being above 50 here means you will be dealing with any CAS and the air superiority won't be a big problem. This is very useful as a minor, as AA is way cheaper than an Air Force. Defense and breakthrough reduce incoming damage. Defense is active while you're defending and breakthrough is active while you're attacking. So having high defense on the division meant for attacking can be a waste of stats or vice versa. Infantry, motorized and mechanized are the best for adding defense, while tanks are the best for adding breakthrough. Lastly, we have armor and piercing. If a division have more armor than their opponents have piercing, they will take 50% reduced damage in combat. Armor comes from tanks or mechanized, while piercing is easiest obtained from anti-tank or anti-air. Other useful information that can be found here are the equipment needed, so what and how much you need to make for each one, as well as the combined price down here. So that's been Combat Stats 101. Hope you learned something, and thank you for watching.